You trust someone with words that mean everything to you, but the moment those words leave your mouth, you lose control of them. They catch the wind and they scatter. This was the lesson facing a young monk named Priya. She arrived at a mountain monastery at 16, and from her very first week, she sat with Master Shen, an elder who guided her morning practice with quiet care. Priya was naturally warm. She loved people easily and assumed that wearing her heart on her sleeve, sharing every internal struggle and fear with the community, demonstrated true personal strength. She felt especially close to another monk named Tara. They had arrived at the monastery in the same month, working and sitting together through the daily hardships of monastic life. Priya trusted him as a brother. One evening, after a long meditation, something entirely new opened up inside Priya. It was a deep, quiet tenderness, a fragile awakening that she didn't quite have the words for yet. Her immediate instinct was to pull this delicate feeling out into the light. She found Tara right away and spoke for a long time, pouring out every detail of the experience. Tara listened. He seemed moved enough, nodding along and telling her that it sounded like a great experience. At the time, Priya equated deep internal vulnerability with a need for immediate validation. She thought sharing made the feeling more real, entirely unaware of the risk she had taken. 3 days passed. Priya was walking past the communal water well when she heard a group of monks laughing. As she approached, she heard her own deeply private words coming from someone else's mouth. The tender experience she had trusted to Tara was being passed around as a funny story. This diagram represents what happens to a raw, unprotected truth when it's exposed to the public. The details get distorted, the context is stripped away, and the original meaning is completely fractured by laughter in the open air. Priya didn't say a word. She physically withdrew, stepping away from the well and fleeing the harsh open space to find Master Shen. She found him behind the monastery in the quiet, blue-tinted shadows of the hen yard. Every evening, without fail, Master Shen carried out a gentle, methodical routine, checking the nesting boxes. He was kneeling beside a hen, carefully sliding his hands underneath her to lift out a single egg. He held it up to the fading evening light to inspect it, before tucking it safely back into the warmth. Priya stood at the low fence and recounted the betrayal at the well. She asked him why trusting a friend with a real, authentic feeling had resulted in so much pain. She was beginning to realize that expansive, shared spaces offer no protection for raw emotional truth. To understand the damage, she had to look at the quiet mechanics of growth. Master Shen didn't answer right away. He reached back into the nesting box, silently brought the egg out a second time, and asked Priya to consider what was happening inside. Priya looked at the shell and noted the obvious. A chick was growing in there, and it was nowhere near ready for the outside world. This schematic shows a cross-section of an egg. Master Shen asked what would happen if someone applied an external force to pierce that outer boundary right now, just to show everyone the life growing inside. The internal core energy would instantly dissipate. Priya didn't need to voice the answer. She intuitively understood the destruction that action would cause. Master Shen explained that fragile new growth requires darkness, warmth, and time. This outer boundary serves as a protective incubator, the biological mechanism making life possible. It secures the internal environment, providing the exact conditions needed to become strong. The physical reality of the egg mirrored Priya's meditation. Deeply authentic internal shifts require strict isolation to survive the open air. Priya stood at the fence as a realization hit her. By handing her fragile new feeling to Tara, she prematurely cracked her own emotional shell. She looked at the old master and asked a crucial follow-up question. How does a person know when an internal change is finally ready to be shared? Master Shen's answer was simple. True readiness is autonomous. When the time is right, it breaks its own boundaries from the inside out. It requires no grand announcements. It simply arrives, standing strong and fully formed in the open, and everyone who sees it understands what has happened. After Master Shen departed, Priya lingered alone in the quiet, comforting darkness of the yard, watching the hens settle over their nests. A deep, quiet understanding finally settled over her. Growing feelings don't need a public broadcast to be real. They simply need to be left alone. Actively protecting your own quiet growth is the prerequisite for possessing actual strength in the external world. You have to guard your transformations. Let them become strong first, and they will find their own way out.